Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Hopefully y'all are well and are ready. Cause today on the Audacity podcast, child, y'all, the past week was a week in sewing. And the expected babysitting that we had to do, the expected placating of feelings that we were expected to do is what we're about to talk about because grown folks don't forgot how to be grown.
We don't even need an Am I the Asshole? We didn't have to go searching for anybody
Because we
else's.
was living it this week.
We were living it this week. So maybe I'll start off with, am I the asshole?
Yes, go ahead.
Am I the asshole? Um, Hi, I, 40 female, am a plus size sewist, Black woman. And I also happen to work for a really dope pattern making company. And we decided that we wanted to do a call for men's, right? Because I have been writing them about getting some more men's patterns out there. And their response to me was, we really would like to do it, but we can't ever get testers. So when we did a tester call for this sweatpants pattern in our general tester group, we did not get a lot of response for it. So I said to the pattern designer as well as the company owner, I said, hey, do you want me to put this into Julian's group? Because Julian actually has a group of like 4,000 members and they're all team Sew for Men, right? And she said, yeah, if you could check with him and put that up, I would really appreciate that. So I did just that. I said, hey, Julian, is it okay if I go ahead and drop this tester call into the So Manly group because we really need some more men testers, or we need some more testers who can sew for men, either or. He said, you know what, that's fine. Go ahead and put it up. It was about 9 o'clock at night. I went ahead and I put the tester up, or I actually might have put it up a little bit sooner than 9 o'clock, but I put it up in the evening. And I just put the general test call because I didn't want for people to be like, oh, well, I only sew for, or blah, blah, blah. I wanted people to take a look at the integrity of the design and see if it was something that could work. Now, full disclosure, I did think that the turnaround time was a little tough because if you are a beginner sewist and expected to follow a new pattern, it could take you some time. But we only needed a handful of testers. So if we could just get maybe 6 to 10 people who said that they had availability this week to do it, it would have worked. So I put the tester call up, I tagged at everyone, and then I put my phone down so that I could go and, fuck around and do the things that I do in the evenings. Okay. And when I opened up my phone, it was filled with hate comments. And they didn't just stop there. It went from someone named Karen, literally Karen, not even just calling her a Karen, saying, turn off why did you tag at everyone? You would think that Julian tagged at everyone every single day by the response that we got.
And note, that was the first time
the
at
first
everyone
time.
had been used in the group.
The first time. Now, my response to her was, I'm not exactly sure why you're directing that to me because I can't turn off your at everyone tag. It's not within my capability. People proceeded to then attack me, and it did not go great. However, I was able to get testers to fill the group up. So, am I the asshole for tagging at everyone in a group where there is not enough participation, in my humble opinion, to get the attention of people in hopes that they would sew?
Can I answer it, please?
Yes.
Please. I'm so enthusiastic to answer this.
Oh my goodness.
Because of course you know that you were not the asshole. Because of course I gave you permission because I trust the company that was chosen. Like, there are companies that I work with, companies that I know, that I'm like, hey, go forth. That's fine. I trust what you're doing. I like what you're doing. You're trying to offer more men's patterns. That is a need. With that comes, there needs to be testers just to check everything to make sure it's copacetic. Was the timeline fast? Yes, it was. Yeah. But as not the designer, I have the joy because guess what? I'm an adult and the company does not pay my bills. I can say, you know what? This is not right for me. And go about my merry ass business.
But you
would think that is a foreign concept for some people.
I want you guys to note the increase of volume in his voice when he said that, because he was very upset.
Because let me tell y'all something. The tags I got and seeing this, I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? People were upset, like, well, this is so fast, and this, then don't do it.
And don't do it.
Don't do it. It's okay.
Julian said he didn't have the availability to do it.
And
It's
was fine. And was fine. So all these people doing that, but then Purple say like, like people were getting, when I tell you up in arms about everyone, I'm sorry, but do you do this same thing in your other groups that you're in?
Right.
Because literally this is the first time it was used. So I went and made a video about it. Like, how would we want to share this again later?
Which I feel like is a really valid question, because I do think that as more men's patterns and more testicles come, if there's just like a standard, like if we don't tag at everyone, but we do make an event, or we do, do some of the things that you had suggested, I do think that that conversation needed to be had anyway. So, I thought it was great for you to even bring that up, and for you to take that as the incentive to go with it in that direction. Because that was really productive, unlike some of those comments.
But then wait a minute, because it was not done yet. It did not stay at one post.
No.
Then that said person decided to make their own post talking about how this is a problem and stuff like that. Again, this is the first time this was ever done in this group. This group that has been around since 2016. 2016, 2017, 4,200 and something members. First time that was ever used. When I tell you, and now Aaronica don't even know this, when that woman decided to then jump into my DMs and message me.
She slid up in your DMs?
Mad because people were calling her a Karen. Because
her name
of how
is
she
Karen.
acted. I'm like, I'm sorry, but literally they are just reflecting the energy that you are giving in this. Now, no, things can be misconstrued and perceived because you can't take full context in text. But what I can tell is that you needed to go get some or something, because you came off real rah-rah when it wasn't necessary.
Real rah-rah.
And I asked, like, how could we have done this better? Like, what was the issue? And people wanted, well, y'all could have, like, they could have announced themselves. I'm sorry, but literally, Aaronica's name in my group, she is a moderator in my group, the only moderator beyond myself as administrator for my group. And literally, because we are those special snowflakes in the group, there's literally a little title besides your name that says moderator.
It does. It does say it. There's a little definitive
every time you post in the group. So literally, I'm sorry that common sense is not common for you to look at something and gain context clues when you're looking at it. So when I tell y'all, and I got to bring the mic close to my mouth because I need y'all to hear me.
Oh my goodness.
Hear me with my full chest. You hear me? When I tell you people have gotten on my last damn nerves in the past few days. And I'm usually, I can keep cool. I can keep patience. I can be real nice. But when you cannot act like an adult and expect me to then basically babysit and try to stand up for you and woo-woo and you and your little feelings, and expect a Black person to do that because you decide to have a hissy fit because somebody used something that you were not liking, wait a minute. The best part, that you have the ability to turn off your fucking self.
Julian, can I do it? No. Julian, can you turn it off for Karen and them?
No.
Mm-mm.
So I've in my mind this week, my group has been on timeout in my life. I can't, because here's the thing. I need y'all to understand. We love the sewing community. We want to see it be diverse. We wanted to see it to be great. We believe that it's possible. But at the same time, understand that macro and microaggressions on the daily basis wear on you. I just went to an event talking about weathering and talking about especially the health of Black people having to deal with these type of little things. It's 1,000 paper cuts equal into a big gaping wound. After a while, you can lose the same amount of blood and bleed to death because of the small things just as much as you can from the big thing.
It's
and
facts.
be expected to deal with it on top of already having to deal with it in real life. Again, I am a Black male sewist. That is not that common in this world. Okay, so I'm already getting suspicion and speculation when I'm entering spaces. And here's a space that I created that you now have to, you being asked to placate for somebody else. It's basically you're taking away my own safety in my own space.
I feel like that is, even like you putting it that way, like it even makes it that much more absurd, right? Because here's the thing. You created a space for you to feel safe in that resulted in you being attacked in, therefore removing the safety. And then I feel like
they're not being
the
sorry.
biggest thing, that is exactly what I was about to say. I feel like the bigger thing here is it wasn't even like, oh snap, I didn't even realize the fact that I just robbed you of the safety of having this as your own space, right? My apologies. Let me go ahead and revisit how I feel about things in life and see why I was so angry. Because it wasn't even just, I mean, like the people who were like, stop tagging me and things. Okay, whatever. I don't care. First of all, I didn't even tag you. Also, like she was going off and she was like, it's a personal tag. It's a personal tag. It's not a personal tag. When you tag at everyone on Facebook, it literally shows up as you and others have been tagged. How do I know? Julian, do you know how many groups I belong to on Facebook?
We belong to some of the same ones, and we see this every hour on the hour, all the time.
All the
All the
time.
time. The
Quite
same way if
literally
you
all
went
the time.
on any other platform and you see somebody say, at mention you is live, or this person is live, at mention you, because they want to get your attention.
Right.
There are multiple ways to gain people's attention and stuff like that. Get it.
But you know what
And
my favorite thing was, Julian, was the white splaining that happened to me.
Child.
Because it was between the white splaining, the tone policing, and then the white women telling me that I was not being attacked and how I was weaponizing my feelings, when white women are the very creators of weaponizing of feelings, weaponizing of tears. But here's the thing. The amount of DMs, text messages that I received after that, asking if I was okay, saying, hey, I saw that you were being bullied. I didn't say it. I didn't have to say it. Because a spade is a spade. What did Romeo say? Or what did Juliet say to Romeo? A rose by any other name is still a what? A rose.
And it
is what it is.
Just a sweet. Ain't that it? Ain't that it?
Yeah. And I was just like, I can't believe it. It was like, well, maybe if she said hi, then it would have been nice. Bitch, I'm not speaking to you.
Say hi and introduce yourself. Like they wanted you to jump through hoops. Hold on. Because of course, you know, my dog has been chilled this whole time, but she heard me being yah, so she
Coco is hype as well. Coco was like, who are we running up on? Because I'm ready.
We're about to be right back. But we're coming back with the same energy because I ain't done yet.
Yes.
If y'all never noticed, my dog is very similar to me. We can both have diva moments, and she don't like to not have the shine in places. So when she is not getting the attention, and now I can hear her barking and losing her mind outside, but she gonna stay out there for a little bit.
She was like, I'm feeling froggy.
Ribbit every few minutes. It's okay. But it was the white splaining, it was all of that. I turned off comments on one of the comments.
Yes, I saw that.
And then I became the problem because I did not let people voice their opinions.
Oh my goodness. That was so passive aggressive.
In my comments, basically mad that somebody called her a Karen.
Yeah.
And
here's what I loved about that though, because she was called a Karen, which is her name, by Heidi, who is also a white woman. I was like, go ahead, Heidi, get your people.
I mean, but all the people who responded to her like, you don't need to do this. See, and this is, I think, especially in the sewing community, especially to Black creatives, we do need those co-conspirators. It's because we passed the point of being allies. Yes, that's great.
We don't
I
need
love
an ally.
You. That's lovely. But I need you to either stand in front of me or stand beside me, and let's do this together.
One of the two.
Like, I need you to speak up as well when you see something wrong. Because if you just an ally and don't say nothing in these moments, you don't see me.
You don't see me.
And I'm in many places that I'm not seeing. I cannot allow that to happen in my own space.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, I appreciated her stepping in to say something. Again, I was definitely minding my manners. And I said this when I was, of course, when I was live sewing the following Tuesday, which was this Tuesday. one, God is still working on me. I'm learning to temper myself more. But bullies have been bullied, and bullies tend to come out of a space of lack, a space of scarcity. And one of the things that my cousin used to always say to me, and still does, because I definitely called him one day and I was like, I'm so mad about such and such. And he was like, a wolf doesn't concern themselves with sheep's musings. And I was like, it's facts. It is facts. It is facts, right? And I think that it's important, to highlight that I do think that they were coming out of a space of hurt, coming out of a space of their own, scarcity mindset, scarcity. And that is what influenced them. And of course, in a public space like that, I'm never going to misrepresent myself, even if I'm angry and even if I have the right to pop off, right? At the end of the day, words hurt. We can't take them back. This is a lesson that I've learned very, very well because of my own words that I have shared with people. And because I am quite capable of delivering a blow that will last. And I learned early on how to temper my speech. Most comments I just didn't address, but my favorite thing to do is be passive aggressive, which is why I was laughing at certain comments. And man, when I tell you that there, you would have thought that I spit on somebody's mama based off of the response that I got.
I mean,
just by the simple laugh emoji.
you ran over a cat or something. Like you went hard. Like, but again, it goes back to, and I think again, I think I've been in some groups lately and really have been having to examine this. The amplification of our actions as Black people at all times. So our skin just either makes it, if we do something extraordinary, it's so great because nobody else has done it before, or it's so less than because other people you ain't that special. But if we do something wrong or do something that is a grievous to somebody else, there is no they ready to give us a felony for it.
Listen, they're ready to take us back to the true picnic times. Okay? Look, where there were lynchings. They ready.
Look. So again,
but those same people will be like, oh, but I have a Black friend.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
Which, of course, I would then offer up that that's actually not your friend if they haven't corrected this behavior.
Correct.
Because a friend would. Quickly. You know what I'm saying?
Quickly.
And
and I think we just need to preface this. Again, this ain't for everybody. So if this message does not apply, let it fly, please. Right. Thank you.
And be very clear that we are not saying that all white people, that's not what we're saying.
No.
We're saying that that we had the unfortunate mishap with, it is these people. It is absolutely these people, right? And I think that
as I look back at the group, and the first post that they made was an apron. It's a woman's apron, technically. I'm like, whatever. Okay. And I appreciate you because I'm a patient person in most aspects. This podcast is the place for me to be real, that you see the thoughts and the feelings behind the smile sometimes. So y'all bear with it. The way I run my group is I let people be people. We're here for sewing. So this is a commonality. It's full of diversity. I get that, full of different ideologies. But when it comes to this, it goes too far. But I'm still not going to, I don't come out real rah-rah. I still try to make sure that there is communication where communication can be built. I'm not a call out. I'm usually an invite in type of person. But it came to a point where I was compelled to call out in my way. Because you're not going to talk about my friend. You're not going to start this around my friend and expect her to jump through hoops for you. When you know you wasn't going to do it anyway. Also,
just take note, Audacity. Julian just said he don't play about his girl, Aaronica. Okay, so govern yourselves accordingly.
I'm just saying. Because didn't I do a live?
Did a lot. And here's the thing, like the funny thing is that the first live, which was super constructive, it was like, okay, we heard what you said. Like, we definitely did not mean to upset or offend by using the at everyone. Going forward, we're open for suggestions on how to handle that, because we would like to continue to have these calls. We would like to continue to do things like this. But then Karen just had to keep Karening.
Yes. And
And
I had to,
and then Julian had to take a step back. Cordell also had to take a step back. And Juju came out with his hair in a bun and Vaseline on.
I did. And yeah, I think it was Aquaphor. It wasn't Vaseline.
Right, because we're in the 21st century.
But like it got too much, and I needed to, like, we're not doing this, because one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to continue to shy away in my own space, in a space that I'm carving out for myself in this world. I can't.
No,
that's
not I don't feel like that's. I don't think that is fair when there are so many spaces that have already been pre-carved out for
those that don't look like us.
Yes. Right. That have been specially devised for the white gaze, right? Yes. Specially devised for the women's gaze, specially devised for, this sort of space. Like, I remember MX Domestic speaking about how they did not feel welcome in like quilting areas. Lisa from Black Women's Stitch has shared about how she has not felt welcome in these sewing spaces, right? Because we know that sewing spaces, while not necessarily started by white women, right? Because we know the truth behind it.
Of course.
But they have been the ones to dominate these areas. And we've already had to, I don't want to say that we shuck and jive, but there was a period of time where we had to shuck and jive in order to be part of these spaces. Whether you are a man, whether you as part of the alphabet community, whether you are Black, whether you are, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just always these idiosyncrasies and all of these hoops that we literally have to jump through in order to be seen as palatable by the white woman.
Absolutely.
Right. Especially in this sewing community. And I feel like it was like, I know that I kept myself in check, especially because I was like, this is Julian's space that he has curated, that he has created, that he has designed to fill a need that was absent in the world. Right. So I'm not going to come up in here and act a donkey. Also, I have too many associations with brands and things like that to be up in here acting a donkey fool and cursing these people out. But also, all of the affiliations that I have recognize my position as a Black woman within this greater niche, right? Which I think is also important. I did not like the way that they spoke down to me. I did not like how they were doing the "let me go tell daddy" on you, like going to tell Julian, as though, one, I really feel like our friendship is known. Like,
it should be.
Like, I feel like everyone knows about us.
I'm the administrator. You're the moderator. Like,
literally, I'm the only other person in there. The only other one in there who can approve people to come in, who can remove people, who could do anything.
Yes.
And when the person was like, "Oh, she's never even posted,"
the lies you tell. The lies you tell shows you how much you really ain't paying attention.
They were like, "Well, I pulled up her name." Okay, screenshot Sally. What else did you find? Because there was definitely that thread where the woman was talking about how your fit was wrong, or how something was wrong about what you had made. Remember when you were working on your shirt and you had made it to the pattern specifications, not necessarily to your body?
Right. And the cuffs were bigger than what they want, what they did.
And who was all up and through that thread?
Right.
Aaronica B. Cole was.
Right.
Because here's the thing, that's not even what Julian asked for. Julian just simply shared a make. He didn't say, "Hey, what do you guys think about what I did on these cuffs?" That's not what he said. He said, "I just wanted you to see. Bask in my glory." And y'all were not basking. So I just simply went in to make that correction. He said, "Bask in his glory, hear his glory, go ahead and bask in it." You know what I'm saying?
And I
there
think
were plenty of comments there.
There were. At least multiple. That was a whole thread that they could have
whole thread.
But that's not the only, like,
right. That's not the only thing, because I generally don't share my makes in there for myself, because it's so manly. So I always want to make sure that I'm on topic, unlike people who post aprons, pictures of women's aprons, but whatever, I digress. Okay. I posted a picture of my husband in a shirt that I made him. Best believe I'm about to take post the pictures of the pants that I made him that I finally hemmed. Praise be to God. Okay. Judge someone else. Judge someone else. Okay.
Come on.
But I'm just like, the idea that you think it's appropriate to try and come for me in
but
a
also,
space.
here's the thing. All they got to do is Google you.
I don't want to be that
really
person
want to be
who's
an
so full of
investigator,
themselves to be like,
if you want to be an
Google me.
investigator, like a reporter or something like that, Google her.
Google me. Do you remember when that t-shirt was big and like that was like people would have that like on their backs and they'd be like, Google me, and you would Google them and that nothing would come up.
Look, but literally, so yes, that's my group, but her credits far exceed mine. Her numbers far exceed mine.
I really do play it very cool. Like my girlfriend today commented on one of my pictures because of course I'm not even sure what the hell they were doing at Stone Mountain Daughter, but I was like, yo, I need an invitation. Like I'm trying to go and look at the pretty fabrics too. I digress. But Naomi, Lisa, Nikki, they were all at Stone Mountain Daughter Fabrics today, sent me pictures, video of me being up on the wall there.
You posted. And it's
right.
But
I'm just like, I'm not that type to be like, oh, yeah, I'm doing big shit, blah, 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 blah. But like,
but you are.
Your girl is on an interview, like, circuit right now.
But you literally
not just within sewing, though. Like, I was
how to do this.
Right.
Like,
but also like
written the blueprint on how to do this and do this well. You are a 6-figure blogger. You are an award-winning blogger on multiple topics. Don't play with her. Don't play with it. Don't play with it, baby. Don't play with it. You hear me?
Try Jesus. Don't try me. But here's the thing. That's why I was like, I don't even have to say anything, because if I were to just pull up, like,
what you want to
again,
do?
like today's interview was with Adweek.
Love it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, but I'm not one to name drop. I'm not one to just go ahead and big myself up. I'm not one to do that. Right. But maybe I should be. Maybe I should be like, ask about me, find out about me, and then come and speak to me and govern yourself accordingly. But that's not my style. But like,
but maybe it needs to be the style now. I think we're just at that point now where, because clearly they want to play me short, but I got they changed today. We need to let them know that we out here doing stuff. And I think, even just in our makes, in the way that we do things, the colors that we choose, the fabrics that we choose, the designs that we make.
Just minus the fact that I'm in all black today.
I mean, look, this is a t-shirt. Y'all will see us. It's all right. It's all right. But it's the lip. It highlights the lip. We know how we have to show up in this world. And it's part of it is our armor. Okay.
Yeah.
And understand that, as a lot of times, understand that we are Black individuals. We are also educated Black individuals. Mm-hmm. So there's some lessons, and there are some innate things that were built into us, especially. So you went to a HBCU, I went to a PWI, but I was part of a lot of different Black organizations, from a fraternity, from other like transitions groups and stuff like that is built into you, that you don't get the opportunity to be a slacker. You don't get the opportunity fully, even most of the time. Let's be real. We were taught that basically we don't get the opportunity to rest like others. We don't get an opportunity.
Not our generation.
And rest.
Our generation was, you can rest when you're dead.
Yes.
I was just watching Winx. If you guys are into like, I'm very much so into like fairies and vampires, where all that. But the headmistress said something today, and it made me chuckle, because listen, your girl is never going to miss out on rest. I'm gonna always take a break. I'm always take a nap. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get my sleep. But she was like, rest is for the weak. And I feel like that is how we were raised.
Absolutely.
Rest is for the weak.
Absolutely.
It's funny because before we hopped on to record this, I recorded a YouTube video, published the YouTube video, did the edits, made sure that it was SEO optimized before, of course, publishing and stuff like that. And and then like today has just been like that day of like hustling grind. Like I was up at 7:30 at Honda to get my car serviced. It took them 4 hours for an oil change. I
Wow,
digress
a
though.
mess. Right.
And I got home just in time to make my 11 a.m. interview with Adweek. After that's done, then I hopped on live and made for mermaids to make my newest pattern, which I have done next to no promo for, which is terrible. Thank God I have a community that supports me and that is here for me, because I seriously would not know what I would do without y'all. I got on there. I made this top. I cut the top out, was talking, was on live, and was off live in under an hour. Granted, it was only a minute underneath an hour, but I still had the opportunity to sit, chat, try it on. And then I forgot to cut the back out. So I had to turn shit back on, cut it out. And then I worked out, because your girl is trying to just match Julian's vibe. Okay. When y'all see Julian, because Julian out here getting super fine, I can't have him be out here the only one. Right? Because we're like a buy one, get one free. If you get Julian, you get me. So you're welcome. If you get me, you get Julian. Also, you're welcome. But I can't have him be the only one out here looking like a snickety snack. Okay. So your girl is getting her snacks on. Okay. We're doing 75 soft. So I did my 45-minute workout. Immediately hopped in the shower, got dressed, immediately left the house to go run carpool. You know what I'm saying? So what is rest to us? Like, granted, I'm gonna be in bed and I'm gonna get my 7 to 8 hours tonight, but still,
there's that. But like, understand that when we are taking time for ourselves, there's an innate sometimes level of shame to it.
mm-hmm. There
So
is.
when we prioritize making space for ourselves, understand that part of the reason, like, people talk to me like, why haven't I fully made a business? Why am I not selling my makes to others and stuff? Like, I don't want to.
I don't want to.
But
I just
understand
want to
that
keep something for myself.
that is a act and
Mm-hmm.
a relearning act in doing
Yeah.
that. That some people don't understand. So when you expect me in my space that I created to also have fun in, yes, I'm the administrator, but I'm also a member. Like, this
Exactly.
is supposed to be, I try to democratize how we do this. I should not have to up here try to bodyguard for you.
Mm-mm.
When you're not paying me to do shit.
No. And I really just did not like and here's the thing, I understand creating community, right? Because I feel like that's what you have done. Community also looks out for the interest of what's best for everyone in the group. The fact that they were over there dictating to you what they felt was going to be acceptable in your group was mind-boggling to me. I promise you, I was sitting here reading this and I was like, wow. The audacity.
Oh, y'all.
Julian, the audacity, not the audacity, the audacity.
Audacity of it all.
Audacity of it all.
I mean, and I'm like, how do you live through, like, understand? And maybe again, it's a difference of culture. It's a difference of different things of how we even navigate the world. Because I'm like, this is not how this world works.
Mm-mm.
I ain't got nobody I can just go to. They hurt my feelings.
I mean, you can come to me.
But yes, and I appreciate it. Thank you. But also, what do we do when that happens? Like, you know what? I'm just gonna I'm picking up my shit and leaving.
Yeah, facts. That's exactly how I feel.
And I'm just
In
gonna
a lot of
and I don't need to make an announcement when I do it.
Nope.
That's like telling everybody
Listen,
that,
Julian, the
excuse me,
amount of
everybody, I have an
I'm gonna
announcement to
leave
make.
the group. Okay.
I have diarrhea and I'm about to go sit on the toilet. I don't need to know. I don't care. Do what you
No
gotta do
one
for
cares.
you.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah. I just feel like for me, it's the amount of expected privilege that they thought that they were going to have in the group, as far as how you ran things and as far as how they treated people that you love in that group. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel like I was like, wow. Wow.
But what you're
The
not gonna
pressure
do,
is getting thicker.
and I mean, and I've literally only had to block like one person. And that it didn't get to it's well beyond that level because legal had to get involved with that one. And that
Wow.
person has basically been blocked from every sewing group.
Wow.
Every sewing group.
It's fine. We can
They
talk about
cycle
that
through.
offline because I want to know who.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about it. But
I'm like,
they cycle
who
through.
is it?
They cycle through. They're not in the US, but yeah, they cycle through the groups. Um,
Wow.
but I think it's important for people to understand that, especially behind the brands, behind the numbers, behind the personas, there is a
Yeah.
person.
Behind is a person.
And when you don't treat us like a person, and you expect to be able to do stuff, and then we not react.
I
Understand
really
that
feel like that to me
I
is
do
the
this
most
for a living.
shocking thing. Like is this how you talk to people?
It can't
Like,
be.
is this really just how you're out here navigating the spaces and talking to people? Because whether you're talking to me, whether you're talking to Julian, whether you're talking to, it doesn't matter. Like, people deserve respect. Like,
Simple. Simple. It should
people
not
just,
be that hard.
and it doesn't even matter. Like, and I know we were joking about oh, you should Google her, blah, 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 because at the end of the day, I deserve respect simply because I am a person who exists in this world. I also deserve respect if I am the memory of someone because I no longer exist in this world, right? People just deserve respect simply because we have or still exist. And I think that the idea that we don't have to be respectful just because the person didn't do something that we wanted them to do or that we liked or something along those lines, and somehow that justifies the level of disrespect that happened is really truly mind-boggling to me. And it's not something that I even wish that I could get away with, right? Because I don't ever want to be so disrespectful that it makes people question whether or not they want to be in a group. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, I would never want to be so disrespectful that, people are like, yo,
I
what the
wonder
fuck?
if it's
You know
like
what I'm saying?
if it's a tie to our ancestors, because we know the people who came before us, and we understand that we represent them.
Yes, I am
Because
my
I'm like,
ancestors' wildest dream.
because if I do that, I'm like, oh, I'm making my grandmama mad, or I'm disrespecting how they operated,
Right.
and so we just don't do that. Like a lot of times, like yeah, there's some that are disrespectful, but usually it's a certain age bracket that does that. And you can tell that they don't have the same connection to things, connection to history, connection to culture, to do that.
Yeah.
Um, and this is amongst like Black people, but I wonder, like, are there groups that feel like they don't have the same connection, so that they can feel that if I don't know nothing else, I know how to treat because of others in my life that did what I want to be known for, and I don't want my name to, like, I don't want ill-gotten get like that illness to be on
Mm-hmm.
my name,
Nope.
because it don't die,
It
it
doesn't.
festers.
It
So
doesn't. When people think about me, I always want it to be filled with love and positivity and like, oh man, I remember that one time that she said such and such, and it really made me feel like really good or really seen or really appreciated, etc. That's what I want to be associated with. Like, I don't want for people to be like, oh, do you remember that one time that Aaronica said XYZ? Man, I have never in my life felt so disrespected. I do not ever want that to be a memory
no,
that people
no,
associate with me.
that type of stuff keeps me up at night.
I mean, it doesn't keep me up at night, but
I mean, I'm people pleaser, so y'all understand.
I'm a
But
recovering one. It's fine.
I ain't fully there at that point yet. But so it's interesting, but I just need people to understand that there's humans behind these things. There's humans
Yeah.
in the groups that you're in. If you show your ass in that group, understand that somebody got to deal with that.
Yeah.
Because
And
you
more
can
importantly,
basically
like,
throw a stone and run.
yes. And I think it's also important to remember you never know, like, if you're going to need that person. Like, and I don't like to navigate the world and be like, oh, I might need that person, so I got to make sure that I'm nice, because I don't believe in having interactions solely based upon them being transactional, right?
Right.
That is not why I like to have interactions with people. I like to interact with people simply for the sake of learning and experiencing someone new, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in the event that someone were to need, say, a Bernina connection, and they participated in that,
I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
I'm just
If
saying.
someone were like, oh, how do you become a pattern designer? Oh,
I
you
started
know what I
speaking in
mean?
tongues. It's like the
How
Tower
do
of
you get
Babel.
a how do you get a how do you get a thread collection? You're gonna have to find somebody else to ask because
Ain't
you
it?
burnt this bridge. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, And that's not to say that I don't give second chances and that sort of thing, but also I just don't believe in conducting myself in a way that I need a second chance for. Um, and because if we conduct ourselves in ways that we need second chances, then that means that we were disrespectful and dishonorable in that first chance. And I don't want to be a disrespectful or dishonorable person, because I really like, and this is not to say that I have not gone through that period in my lifetime, because I have.
Yeah.
I have fought really hard to become the person that I really respect and love today. So I don't want to go back to that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, very similar to how you refer to yourself as Juju. Like, her name is Robin. Okay.
Robin.
And we don't want Robin to come out. Why? Because we've worked really hard to create Aaronica, and we've worked really hard to make her into being a person who can kind of see the things that aren't being said, feel the things that aren't being felt. And that's how I have to navigate. And it's funny because people will be like, oh, well, you're so nice, why are you this way? And it's like, because if I didn't think of you as a family member, right, then Robin would come out, and then there would just be puddles of blood places, because it would be like, oh my God, she stabbed me with her words and I can't stop the bleeding. Like, I'm going to bleed out because I'm so hurt. But your girl has done a lot of work, really proud of who I am. And I always want to make sure that I stay in the character that I fought so hard to have.
And that part is we fight for who we are on
Mm-hmm.
a daily basis. And in these moments are those tiny assaults, or not even tiny sometimes. And it's like you trying to knock me off my zone.
Yeah.
Been here and working and being nice, and then I'm still expected to show up and be present and still be nice.
Right.
Process. Like, I don't get the opportunity to not do that.
No.
Because that's totally against the stuff that we stand for.
It does. It absolutely, and I don't like that. I don't like that. You know?
No, not at all.
And even and I really commend you, because even in your second live, I still feel like you maintained your integrity but got your point across. You know? Like, I still feel like you definitely scolded us like we were your children. I was definitely like, God damn, Daddy, I'm so sorry. It wasn't to me though. I didn't do it. And I don't like that you had to say something, because again, you know, both myself, in addition to the people who messaged me personally, literally everyone said, I didn't want to say anything because it's Julian's space and I don't want to mess that up for him. Right. And I think that really speaks highly of how we value you, but also you having this safe space. And we want to do what we can as our part in your community to keep it safe and to not be up in there acting as though we have lost our religion. You know what I'm saying?
All aspects of our minds.
Right.
Even though we want to. Even though we want to.
Even though we want to.
But and again, I appreciate you for that. But honestly, also too, especially other people, I'll go forth. I provide permission, because we can regather. I can regather when necessary. But yeah, it's
not you have permission. He said the people have permission.
I'm just saying, but show your ass a little too much.
Don't do it too much. Yeah.
But
I'm
you know, I think
that happened though.
But it is, sadly, it's a sad thing that we have to be reminded that this is the world we live in.
Yeah.
Sad that it happens to happen this way, and that it has to happen in each facet of life, to know that this is where we live and this is how we have to operate and how we have to move, but also how we have to stand on our feet and create our own boundaries and create our own, like, it's not only the bad part that happened to us, is how we have to show ourselves in this and still stand firm in who we are and what is ours in the space that we play. Not only as creatives, as those who are choosing, or it's because I need y'all to understand And I don't think that we talk about it enough, that us creating, us getting on camera and smiling, us making pictures, us wearing colorful clothes, these are political acts
These
on
are
a daily basis.
every day.
Like, it's a political choice in how we do things.
And because of who we are as individuals, there are multiple layers to it, right?
Absolutely.
Julian being not just a Black man, but Julian being a Black gay man who is growing, not even trying to grow, not even working to grow, but who is actively growing in a space that we know is dominated by older white women.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So there's multiple layers. Simultaneously, me, a Black woman who is plus size, I am not standard size,
Mm-hmm.
right? Also growing, also doing these things. It is hard. And I don't want listeners to be like, well, it's not about Black and white. It's not about Black and white. And it's not about being, and we are not saying that they were racist. That's not what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
What we're saying is that being a white woman, and the reason why we're specifically saying white women is because the white men on the thread were just like, I don't want to be tagged. I'm not sure how to do this. Can someone guide me on how to turn this function off?
Simple. It was
Right.
It was literally, it's about the tone of the message. Or some just said, like, usually this doesn't happen here, so I'm okay.
Yeah.
But I do know that you can turn it off. Thank you for reminding me.
And I had to even ask Karen, I was like, hey, can you post the instructions on how to do that? No, you should. You're the admin. Okay, so listen, I don't want them to turn it off. That's my truth. Because in the event that we need to use it, I do want the eyes on it. Like, I want it to do, it did exactly what I wanted it to do. Right.
As it's still like, and I think, and honestly, and this is how God works, because in all of that, yes, you use that, but that's how it kept traction going. So you up here getting rah-rah about it, kept traction going and got people interested. So I mean, it still worked for the purpose that it was needed.
Yeah.
God still got the glory out of it. But in all of this wasn't necessary or called for. It just wasn't. So I mean, and I need people to think about it. And might be our question for the week, because we need to let that off our chest, and we've been holding it.
We have been,
and we said we was going to talk about it here.
We did. But we didn't even talk about it with us.
No,
because Julian was like, we have our topic for our podcast. We're going to talk about it there. I'm like, y'all are now we're not calling it the red table. Y'all are now at the sewing table. Okay.
You're at the cutting table.
You're at the cutting table. Okay. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the cutting table.
That is the title of the episode. So when we need to do these are the cutting table episodes.
The cutting table. That's it. Welcome to the cutting table.
Look, but the question I have for you all, and I need you to think about this and really reflect. What are the political things that you show up in? Or what political stances do you take in your daily life?
Mm-hmm.
And when we're talking about political stances, not about politics. This ain't that. But what are those intentional steps that you make in that may not be status quo for you or for the world that you live in? What are you doing?
Right.
Please answer. We want to know your comments. So please comment on the episode, comment on Instagram and all of the places that you can find us. Hell, you can tag us separately and just let us know.
Yes. Put it in your stories or something.
Right. We want to know how you show up, and what are the things that you are specifically being conscious about and how you show up.
Yes. And I think, you know what, and that is really such an important question, because I feel like and we had this conversation where I was talking about a situation that was like, I don't know if this is my hill to die on.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I also feel like I play it too safe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes as a recovering people pleaser, I do feel like I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't want to do this. And I'm willing to compromise certain things that I'm passionate about or that I feel strongly for in order to just appease or to just smooth things over. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I'm more likely to be like a quiet, whereas I was a loud supporter, now I'm just a quiet, non-supportive person.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a difference if you pay attention to who it is that I support, who it is that I share in my stories, the things that I show up for, right? I feel like it's, if you pay attention, you can see like
The evidence is all there.
the evidence is there. Like when people are like, oh, do you use fabric from XYZ? And I'm like, oh no. If you've never seen it on my timeline, chances are I don't sew from them because there was something that they were involved in. Do I sew XYZ patterns? I don't. You know, do you use, this here brand projector? I don't. And, we just keep it moving. But
Yeah.
always know that I move with purpose and I move with intention. Um, and that my goal is to never break down because, hey, everybody got to get money. Everybody's got to be out here doing what they can do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in fact, I actually just had this conversation with my daughter's best friend, my middle child's best friend, Aurora's best friend. So I picked them up from school yesterday, and typically we go for an afternoon snacky snack. And yes, like I am the mom who picks up everybody's kids. It's who I am. I don't even want to identify as something other than that because I absolutely love that role. I love the fact that people trust their children with me. It makes me feel so good. That is one of the most affirming things in the world. But she was like, oh, can we go to Starbucks? And I was like, I'm sorry, right now we're taking a break from supporting Starbucks. And she's like, well, why? I said, because of their stance on the Palestine and Israel situation that's happening right now. And she's like, well, I still like Starbucks, so I'm still going to Starbucks. I said, okay, because my goal is never like, I tend to have more conversational competence than the average person. I'm not going to persuade you to think like I think. I'm just going to share what I do, how I move in the world. So then she brings it up again. She's like, well, I'm still having Starbucks. And I said, okay. And then that provoked the question of, well, what do you mean about their stance on Israel and Palestine? I said, they don't support Palestine right now, you know? And she's like, so what? I watched the whole Republican debate and I was like, okay, like not what we're talking about, but okay. I love that you watched that. So she's continuing to talk. And so, again, not trying to persuade a 9-year-old to think like me. So then Kalima, my oldest child, goes, imagine if a school shooter came in and shot up your school and killed your friends. And Starbucks said that they supported that shooter. Would you be drinking Starbucks then? She was like, no, I don't support that. I said, well, here's the thing. We live in a capitalistic society where who you support is what we do with our money. We show up and we support with our money, which is the reason why I cannot right now drink Starbucks. And which is why I don't drink Dunkin' Donuts right now, which is why Aaronica is making coffee at home. So if you join me for lives in the morning, we're going through our coffee lessons strong because that's what we drink in. Okay. But, having these things, you've got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. And I remember when I was in high school and I first heard that quote and I was like, I don't even know what the hell that means. Right. It was like, of course we had all those motivational posters. There was like a stream or some shit. And it was like, you got to stand for something or you fall for anything. I was like, fall in the stream. Like, how is this related here? But, of course, as you get older and these things begin to matter, you do have to stand for something or you will fall for anything. And at the end of the day, I will always be pro-human. I'm always for humanity. I'm always for, doing right by each other. And, including in the sewing space. That is what I'm for. I'm for doing right by each other, and I will always stand for that. And that means that if a particular brand does not support the alphabet community, LGBTQI+, I can't support them.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is a core value of mine. If they don't want to expand their plus sizing, I'm not about to buy it and grade out. It's a core value that I have. You know what I'm saying? If they don't support Black lives publicly, I can't support. If they don't support Asian lives publicly, I can't support. You know what I'm saying? So I think that you do have to have these quote unquote political affiliations, not necessarily in the sense of Democratic versus Republican, but in the sense of what morals do you have? Like what things do you stand on? What are your pillars for who you are as a person? And really think about that. One other thought that I did have, and I do want to touch on because out of frustration, I do know that our community was like, well, I'm just not going to comment in there. And that is the wrong stance to take. And I don't like to say right versus wrong, but I am going to say that in this instance. And the reason why is because if we want to see more love, more kindness, more goodness in the world, we have to show up and we have to represent that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So if I want to see more goodness in your group, I have to be good in the group. I have to share and I have to celebrate and I have to give affirmations, because we don't know what people are dealing with on a given day. It could have just been a bad day for Karen and crew, right? We don't know what they were dealing with as things happened, right? Which is why I think it was beautiful the way that you handled it, right? No one got cursed out.
Oh, but I wanted to.
Right. You know, I felt that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's important that we stay true to who we are as people, and we represent the changes that we want to see in the world. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see more men's patterns out there, not because I sew men's patterns for myself, but because my husband is 6'4" and he can't find clothes that he likes that fit the way that he wants it to, right? Like, I made that, listen, I finally had those pants, and I know I made those pants 2 or 3 sizes too small, but listen, I love the way those things hug his thighs. And he was like, oh, I like the way these fit. I said, shit, me too. Be a snack for me. You said you like this size. That's fine. We can keep making it this size then.
We could churn these out for you.
Okay. But if we want to see more of that, which I know I personally do, because being able to make a garment that fits my husband's body, that makes him feel proud to walk around, and that he doesn't have to make the accommodations to make it look good on him, means something to me. Also, the fact that my son is not in your average sizing, and it's hard to find him clothes. Like, I like, and I need to be able to sew for them without having to draft every single thing myself. You know what I'm saying? So this matters to me in a personal way. Like, I want to see more of that. I need to see more of that. So I will always fight for men's patterns. I will always fight for boys' patterns. Why? And it's not even about, oh, you know, you're making about men's versus women's, but it's about body shape, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I need to be able to find a pattern that has been developed for their body shapes, even if I have to make accommodations and adjustments, etc. But I'm going to always fight for that. Why? Because I've been the plus size little girl who could not find clothes in her size. I've been the plus size woman who couldn't find patterns in her size, right? And I don't feel like anyone else should have to deal with that.
Absolutely. And I think it's sad that, as you're talking about, people are don't want to comment, don't want to really engage. So the work that I now have to redo,
right,
to rebuild.
But that's okay, because I'm in there doing it with you, baby.
And I appreciate you. And everybody, look, come on, we ain't about. We don't. As there's a saying that goes that when the dog howls at the moon don't howl back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And we about to be bigger than any bitch can ever talk or yell at us or scream at us.
How all you want to.
Look, and you let them just do it.
Yeah.
Because it's what they do.
Julian said, hit that falsetto. I'm going to still be up here doing what I do. Howl in your falsetto. Mm-hmm. Get a good run in there too.
Because you are a non-factor.
Non-factor.
In this process.
Yes.
The train going to keep on moving. So you either need to get right or get left.
Look, now let me go ahead and pull up So Manly right now so I can go ahead and post my picture of my man in his pants.
Come on.
Because what? Because yes. Also, his sexy thighs need to be seen by everybody. Not too many people. Not too many people, but everybody else.
Right.
Everybody in that group.
Y'all.
Right. Now, if I was feeling petty, if Robin was coming out, we would tag at everyone as soon as I posted that bitch.
You know what?
But we're still Aaronica, so it's fine.
And I appreciate it. Let the Lord use you. Don't let the devil have his way right yet. We need to hold that. We need to let that marinate and simmer for when it need to really come out.
It's simmering until Thanksgiving, because then we're going to focus on having a thankful and gracious heart.
Look, you gotta. It's like gumbo. You gotta make sure that the roux get the right color. And this petty roux ain't there yet. The
petty roux is not there. We still white.
Right. It just started toasting, and it need to get good and dark.
It needs to get nice and toasty.
Right.
Speaking of gumbo, listen, there was a recipe for a collard green gumbo making it for Thanksgiving.
Come on.
Along
And
with, of
what we
course,
doing for
some,
Thanksgiving?
huh?
I'm going out to eat.
I know
I'm
that's right.
literally not cooking nothing.
You know
Even
what?
though I was really thinking about, sometimes you just need a little flavor or something. You need a little something in the house.
Yeah.
So
So it smells. So it smells for
right.
ambiance.
So I mean, I might make some turkey legs, a little mac and cheese, a little greens, or some green beans or something, some sweet potatoes, corn
So you just named the
casserole,
whole fucking menu.
cornbread or some rolls,
Greens. What? Say
some
the
Parker
song.
House rolls, some real rolls, homemade with a piece of pound
Oh,
cake, maybe a sweet potato pie, something. I know. And then I thought about like that is a whole meal. And here's the issue. Here is a toxic trait of Julian Collins. Yes, I just gave my whole government for that.
mm.
I don't like leftovers. So I can cook all of that and eat it once.
I can only do leftovers for like one night. One night only. One
Not
night
eat it again.
only. That's it. That's
So
all we got it for.
right. So I'm like, that's a waste of food. And but here's the thing. So like I love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. If y'all did not know, I love Thanksgiving because I was born on
Same.
Thanksgiving. So I'm a turkey baby. This year my
Turkey.
birthday is the Monday after Thanksgiving.
Make sure you guys wish him a happy birthday. Cash app him your favorite number. I feel like that's it.
Come
That's
on.
fine. I'm gonna post your cash app
We
with your
accept all
favorite
things.
number. Go ahead.
We accept all things. But it was also the time that my family got together.
Yeah.
Like the big family when my grandmother
Hmm.
was alive. Now, no, my grandmother's been gone since '98, but I
Oh wow.
remember those times like cooking and being at her house and the smells.
Yeah.
And so I came from a family that you started cooking weeks before and just started putting stuff in freezers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I came from a family that had 3 kitchens going at once for one
At
meal
once.
because
Dang, that's
you
like
had
that
the
soul
main kitchen,
food.
and it was a 2 family house. So you had the main kitchen, then you had
Uh-huh.
the basement kitchen. So
Oh
things that
yeah.
could
With the
simmer there
in-law
most of
suite.
the time could
Yeah.
be in the basement. But then you had my aunt's house, which was upstairs. You would also use that oven and stuff like that. My mama and stuff lived down the street, so we also had stuff going on it there. So like these like. It's an honoring of my grandmother and my
Yeah.
ancestors and of that time to
Yeah.
do this. I
Same.
remember like and my grandmother it's a grand house and you would have the tables laid and no and I mean tables because it would be like some
Tables.
40-50 people but it would be
Damn.
yeah it would be a lot. You got people from church, you got family members, people would come in from out of town because my family is split between Ohio and California,
Okay.
so people would come in and stuff like that. It would be a big grand thing that also usually included like a birthday cake or something for me and my
Right.
cousin because me and my cousin share a birthday. um,
Oh.
they're 16 years older than me, but same date. So all of those type of things are really important. Like you will pull out like my grandmother, it was crystal, like it was full dishes and pull out like, and she would, I remember because
And
you
you
had
had to
what else
polish
pantry?
that
The china
the
and
sweet.
the
Yeah.
silver, and it depends on, and you know you were special when the gold set came out. If you would have,
Listen.
she had about three or four different sets of silverware, table, flatware, and stuff like that, and then the dish set came out
Yeah.
of with all the platters. Like, look, I love those times. So I like cooking for holidays just because
Yeah.
it's that and it's mixed with love and stuff like that. So it's interesting not cooking, but I might do a little something.
Look, all I'm saying is that you can still catch a flight. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna just offer it up. I'm gonna keep offering it up. I'm gonna just say that.
So the reason we're going out because most of my family is going actually to Atlanta.
I
They will
know that's
be
right. You were saying
in a
that.
penthouse in downtown. Mm-hmm.
That's fancy.
I was like, oh, this is what we doing now. But
I
my
don't know, man. I think
little
you and mom
cousin,
should just come on down.
child, I think I'm excited about what we're about to do. And then me and my friend, so one of my friends shares a birthday the day before mine. So we're
Hmm.
going to brunch that Saturday.
Okay.
So
Please
yeah,
send me pictures.
I got stuff planned.
I like this. This makes me
Coming.
feel happy.
So and I got fabric today for my outfit.
Julian, did you see I got my fabric?
I did. I did. I
Julian, I
did.
promise. Listen, if you guys are like, what are you guys talking about? So for Sunday service, not for Sunday service, but on Sunday, um, Julian made this. I think you might need to text this to me. Julian made this.
Yes.
I don't feel like that photo is doing it justice over this screen. Julian made this sweatshirt out of Grace from Zesty Couture's Ankara knit. And I said to myself, I'm really on a fabric buying freeze because I'm trying to sew through my stash. Y'all, I saw this sweatshirt. I was like, man, fuck that freeze. I was like, as a cart, check out immediately. Literally Sunday night after you guys wrapped up, I made my purchase. My delivery came in, and by the time I got home from running carpool, it was here. And today's Wednesday. So expect a primrose out of this because I was like, absolutely.
It'll be perfect. Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pull a card from my man Julian's deck, and I'm gonna have I don't even like to color block, but we color blocking this because I want
color
both
blocking print at that.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's gonna be amazing. I'm speaking it into existence. It's gonna be amazing.
But so just so people understand, and I put it in my stories, but it will be gone by the time this is up. 2 words. Or no, 3. Animal print denim.
Hold on a second. Let me see. I'm like, did it come through? There it is. Okay.
Denim. So I think I'm going to do my Know Me pattern, Know Me 2018.
This is from Joann's, right?
That's from Joann's. And
you know, I did the Mitchell trousers out of it.
It's 60% off.
That's what so our dear friend Brittany just recently had a loss. And so me being who I am as a person, I had to FaceTime her because I had to look in her face to check on her. I'm like, I don't need to hear your voice. I need to see your face. So I FaceTime her, and she was sewing the McCall's jeans that have like the cutouts. So she used that fabric and black. It came out so dope. She was like, yeah, it's on closeout. And I was like, I'm gonna have to go over there and get some more. I'm like, I'm not mad about it, but I'm also like, come on, what happened to my spending freeze? Like,
you got to do that after the holidays. That's a January thing. That's a January thing.
Facts.
But, you know, so I think I'm going to, because I'm again, we're facing things that scare us, and those pants are making those pants. When I made them, I was not in a space where I loved my body the same way that I do now. And the problem with that pattern is, and it's not a problem with the pattern, just the way that it's drafted and high waisted, is negative ease at the waist.
Oh yeah. So
to make that work, like I literally end up having to cut like 2 sizes bigger at the time. Like it just, me and those pictures, if y'all understood the story behind them pictures, but we got something, y'all saw something.
Yeah.
How many pairs of Spanx I had on in those pictures? Let's be real. It was a lot.
This is going to be so fire in those pants.
I know. And the wide leg. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. With a black sweater. So I got also a black merino knit. I think that's what they call it. It's like a rayon knit. It's like a sweater knit. Very soft. So
but it's like brushed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do like a like not cropped, but it's gonna be like a very vintage style, like using natural waist sweater. So I'm probably gonna do one of my vintage shirt patterns.
I'm seeing it in my head. Sing it in my head. It's gonna be so good.
And you know I got a pair of shoes already.
Let me see the shoes.
Hold on, let me get that show.
Listen, y'all I know that you guys are like, but we can't see anything. It's fine. I'm going to eventually begin to publish our videos. Don't worry, they're coming. They will be coming. I swear. Because I already know that this is so good. Let's see them. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. So for a visual, I want you guys to think about the shoes that Julian had on for Frocktails and take it to the next level.
True. Yeah.
Like they're of a similar vein, but also not.
They are similar to my shoes from last birthday that I could not walk in, but I can walk in these. We practiced. We made sure. One of the things I love, so this is, sadly, it is a fast fashion brand at ASOS, but ASOS has a line called Design.
Yeah.
And they offer just different types of shoes and stuff for men. A lot of them with heels.
I love that.
So these are men's heels, platform.
Loafers. I need to get me some loafers.
For shoes and certain things, and like if you look at the makeup of the shoes, like that's the biggest thing I look at. I don't like a lot of like vegan leather or the pleather shoes. So I try
Right,
not to
right,
order
right.
those, but for sometimes, and they have good sales when you buy them. For statement pieces, I don't mind.
Yeah.
So they are comfortable. It's going to look really cute with the cuff of the pants, with the black shirt or the black turtleneck with these. And
But not me, like, I think I want to get these.
those are cute. Those are cute.
Look, I'm about to, and they're wide fit.
Yeah.
Don't let me have them out.
That is a good thing. They also do have a lot of different choices.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those are good.
So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll probably wear that the Sunday before my birthday because I don't really have anything planned for the date because it's Monday. And then I think I know what I'm wearing for Thanksgiving itself.
What are you gonna
So
wear for Thanksgiving?
so I think I'm going to the bomber that I made on live of my pattern with Donnie's pants. So because they're the same
Oh,
fabric.
because it's a fit.
Yeah. So I
The
think I'm
little
gonna wear
coordinated
that.
stitch.
Mm-hmm. I have a shirt that is pin up Thanksgiving pin up men that you saw when I wore to Friendsgiving last year. I think I'm gonna wear that. That's one little outfit. So I just now need something for brunch. And I have something for Sunday, and then we'll be good.
I don't know. I kind of feel like that sweatshirt that you made is fire. It should be
I wore
worn.
that this week to work.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. I take it back. You're gonna have to
And
come up
I've
with something
worn
else.
that. All right. And I made that sweatshirt in another fabric for my 35th birthday. Hence why I remember that pattern. So
I mean, it's so fire. It's
it's
so
cute.
fire.
It is cute. I actually probably gonna buy it again because I want to size down
Yeah.
and see what that does. Because I think that would be a better,
It'll
more
have
on
like that more athletic fit. Yeah.
of what I. So, but the pattern, like if people are interested in like when I tell you a simple pattern, because it's a grown-on sleeve, and you don't usually see that in a lot of men's patterns, is by a company called Masculatory on Etsy. So it is the kimono sleeve sweater by Masculatory on Etsy.
I'm
So
like,
definitely
definitely need this. But I actually kind of want it for myself.
But
What's
I
it
think
called? Mascula.
Masculatory.
Got it.
And they
Yeah.
have a lot of different ones. They also have some women's patterns that they're opening, like starting now, but they have a biker jacket patterns. They have blazers. They have a lot of jeans patterns, other different styles of shirts. They do different fits and stuff like that. So really cool company.
Yes. So. I'm looking at it. I'll definitely make sure that I include the link to this in here. They have this oversized tunic with it. It's in a kimono style. Loving that. Okay. Okay.
So I can definitely see your husband in the oversized shawl collar sweater.
Yes, he loves a shawl collar.
Also the V-neck. There is the V-neck, like the V collar turtleneck would be interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. I want to make that for him just to see if he'll wear it because that looks sexy. Put that on with your pants. It's a look.
It is. It's a whole look. So and especially honestly with this, like with that V collar neck sweater, what you could do because of where that collar is, like you could do the body in black and do the collar and stuff like that in a pop of color, and it looks like you basically got something underneath a sweater.
I like that a lot.
So many different ways to do it. But yeah, so
one of the things I wanted to start to do as we like conclude is I want to talk about some upcoming things that we have going on. So for example, not even necessarily in-person events or anything like that, but like for me, I'm working on growing my YouTube channel, which is Aaronica B. Co. I've been publishing daily videos up there and things like that. So I've got those things. I've got my live sew-alongs that happen on there as well as on the TikTok streets. And I've got coming up in February, like the last weekend of February. So for leap year, your girl's going to be in Washington. I'm teaching, I think it's 9 classes out there. So the Sew Expo's tickets go on sale in January. So that is what I have going on. So Julian, where can people find you either live or in person? Because I know you do a lot of shows, classes, that sort of thing. So is there anything that's coming up for you where people can catch you?
So I teach locally here in Cincinnati, Ohio, at a store called Kramer Sew and Back. So we are finalizing the schedule. You can go to their website, Kramer Sew, but you can also Google Kramer Sew and Back for the newsletter, which will include the classes that I teach. I teach beginner serger. And this coming next quarter, we will also be doing a crossbody bag project on
Ooh,
the serger.
okay.
I'm using a Suki Souls pattern, so really excited to do that. Um, Also have some things coming up that we can't fully announce yet. So
Facts.
you know, be on the lookout when those launch, we'll definitely let you know. But also, um, especially Black Story Network, we have to talk about it. There is something called the 99 Problems Challenge. So
99
this year,
problems.
you have a chance to win $99 to either Amazon or Joann's if you make one of the men's Know Me patterns. And if you make mine, you get entered for more points.
And guess who's made two of Julian's?
Look. Also because my coat pattern as well as Ella's coat pattern are the Sew Your View patterns of the month. If you make one of our coats, you're entered in, you can be entered in for a $50, $49 prize. So there are so many different opportunities this month for prizes and different things like that. Definitely something to check out and take a look at. But definitely in the new year, there'll be some fun things on the horizon.
And I know they will. So go ahead, Julian, take us home.
All right, y'all. I want y'all to have a wonderful, amazing time. Be political, be outrageous, be commanding. You got this. This is your space. Claim it. Talk to y'all
And
later.
we dare you to have the audacity.
Come on.